Well, in the wake of the killing of George Floyd, now more than 2 years ago, calls to defund the police in Minneapolis and other cities were certainly loud. However, recent reporting from Mother Jones reveals that the police department in Minneapolis now has more cash on hand than it did prior to Floyd's death in May of 2020. The author of that report from Mother Jones, Eamon Whalen, is here with us now to help us better understand the state of policing in Minneapolis. Thank you so much for being here. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
It's Eamon Whalen.
Eamon Whalen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do want to talk about your very thought-provoking Mother Jones article. You said, simply put, Minneapolis did not defund the police. It is the opposite. The police are defunding Minneapolis. Help explain that to us.
Yeah, so it's often been said in the 2 years since George Floyd's murder that the Minneapolis Police Department was significantly defunded in some way. And that's never really been true. In 2021, $8 million was reallocated from the police department, but or 2021, I should say, but by 2022, they had more cash on hand than they did before George Floyd's murder. And in 2023 and 2024, their budget will be about $200 million a year for each year, which would put it, again, more than it was in 2020, the year George Floyd was murdered. What has happened since his murder is that the Minneapolis Police Department has cost the city of Minneapolis an exorbitant amount of money, to the point where I think it's more accurate to say that the police are defunding Minneapolis rather than Minneapolis is defunding the police.
Well, what is the status of the police shortage in Minneapolis? I know that you wrote that 300 officers have left the department since George Floyd, and that's more than a third of the force. Also, 200 have left from PTSD and workers' comp. I was just speaking with the National Police Association spokesperson on Friday, and she said that in the last 2 years, there's been a vilification of American law enforcement in her eyes. And we've certainly heard from other law enforcement guests as well about an increasingly thankless job, low morale, and public perception. How do you see the police shortage issue?
Yeah, so I think I might start by maybe giving a source of where some of that resentment from the public may come from, especially in Minneapolis. So according to a study done by the city, in the 15 days after George Floyd's murder, due to police misconduct settlements, the city will end up paying $111 million out in lawsuits. And so that's $27 million for George Floyd's family, but that includes $2 million for a protester who had his eye shot out, and then also $600,000 to a journalist named Linda Tirado, who was blinded in one eye. And those were both by so-called less lethal munitions. And both of those stories suggest that the officers were shooting not only for the head, but they weren't making a distinction between journalists and protesters. And then there's also $1.5 million for a man named Jaleel Stallings. Stallings is an overlooked story, I think, in the country. He was a Black Army veteran who was out on the streets 5 days after George Floyd's murder when an unmarked white van drove down the street and shot at him, hit him in the chest with one of these so-called less lethal munitions. And he fired back a real gun thinking that he had been shot because, again, it was an unmarked white van. It turned out it was a group of Minneapolis police officers in that van who were riding around the city indiscriminately firing at people on the street. And so when Stallings realized that the police were the ones in the car, he dropped his gun and surrendered. They continued to beat him senselessly, fracturing his eye socket, and then he was charged with attempted murder. Stallings was acquitted on all charges. In the process of the trial, videos from the body cam was obtained by a reporter named Dina Winter from the Minnesota Reformer, showing those officers before they were headed out on that voyage that night in the van that they were, quote, hunting protesters. And so then this would bring me to the workers' comp and PTSD settlements, if you'd like me to get into that.
I mean, Eamon, I'm so sorry we are running short on time, but I want to make sure we get to one last question with you. I mean, what an egregious picture that you paint. But I do want to ask, speaking of the Minnesota Reformer, you cite this study that says that, or the stat that police failed to solve 8 out of 10 shootings in Minneapolis. And at the end of your piece, you basically write that if another city department were bleeding money like this, if they had a track record like this, that it would be drastically reformed or even on the chopping block. So I do want to ask, I mean, we do have to have police, right? What is the solution that you see going forward?
I think that the solution is to, I think, actually try to make them as irrelevant in the society as possible. And then I think that is what that's going at, like what defund the police is aiming at. And that is, when I say irrelevant, I mean, like, I live in a rich white neighborhood in Minneapolis. We don't need police because of the socioeconomic status of the neighborhood. And so I think it becomes trying to actually fix the material conditions that leads people to commit crimes and leads them into increased interactions with the police. And I think this bigger question of what we ask police to do in our society will get us much closer to some kind of solution. And I'm under no illusion that it's going to be easy.
Absolutely. It is a hard road ahead, no matter how you slice it. But Eamon Whalen, I certainly appreciate your time tonight, and I appreciate your reporting. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.